Hi everybody, welcome to 2OG Silken and Stitching Island Style. I'm Antoinette, your hostess. This is a podcast about knitting, crocheting, Tunisian crochet, tutorials, giveaways, happy mail, life on an island, all kind of fun stuff. Welcome to all the returning Fiber family. Welcome to the new Fiber family. And if it's your first time here, you're more than welcome to join the Fiber family. Just press the little subscribe button below and hit the little bell, and anytime I upload a video, you'll get notification. So this video today is about some happy mail or acquisitions, however you choose. This was stuff that I ordered. Also, I have some WIP works in progress and finished object, and we're going to talk about that secret test pattern I was doing. It is now released, so I can show you what I was working on. It is the Granny Stripe Cardigan by Hannah of the Cozy Crochet Podcast. I will have all this information in the description box below. So, let's get on with the happy mail. The first one I got is this one here. And this stuff's been sitting here since Thursday and Friday last week. I haven't touched it. I was a little busy, so I just waited until I could share it with you. Okay, inside this are these. I'm just going to put this over here. I can throw my garbage in it. This stuff here is for making stitch markers. So it's just some stuff I had ordered for stitch markers a while ago. The first one is, I know Ross from Smells Like Yarn would like these. These are some stitch markers that charms for stitch markers. If you can see it, it is, let me get a little closer. Let me get a little closer here. See if it'll focus on that. Put my hand behind it. It's a flamingo. So I'm going to have some flamingo stitch markers that I'll be making. So those will be for some, giveaways or sending people some happy mail. So let's see what's next. Got this one here. And they put the sticker right over top of where you open it. I do recycle these small little padded envelopes. Do my share for recycling. Okay. These are just my round lever back. You gonna focus? Or no? No, the sun's bright. They're just some round lever back earrings for the stitch markers. I think these came from, these come from Ally or Wish, I don't know which one. Anyways, you would think that they put it all in one package. You should only have to pay for one shipping, but they charge you shipping per item. Oh my heavens. I think that's why they offer things so inexpensive. Here's another pack of, these are all sterling silver. These are the regular lever backs for the stitch markers. I don't use the lobster claws clasps anymore. Nobody seemed to like those, so I just haven't ordered any more of the. Oh, this one's hard, but here we go. And these were some different Nautical Charms that I ordered. These are all for stitch markers. Let's see here. Oh, we got a ship's wheel. Got it. See if I can have something like stickies on. Ah, yes. Got a ship's wheel. With the skull on it. I mean, an anchor with a skull on it. Another anchor. Sailboat. All various anchors. And then you got the compass, north, south, east, west. And these all in here there's just various sizes. And this last one here, oops, I dropped. I'm using my cable needle to put these on because my hands are a fish hook. So those are just some of the new stitch markers that I'm going to be making. I think I have a container to put these in over here. But it's just, sometimes I don't always, here we go, put them in here. They're going to be for the, some of the new stitch markers that I'll be making when I get find time. I won't be doing too much this week here because I'm leaving for Prince Edward Island on Sunday. So I've got a lot to get ready before I leave. But I wanted to get this video. I have another video uploading currently. And I'm in the process of editing the interview I did with Lindsay Luchuk of Knit Eco Chic Designs. That will be going up when I get back. So something for you to look forward to when I get back. A lot of editing in that one to be done. So that was all I got in that package. And the only other package I got was, I had told you I had made an order to Lion Brand. That I needed. They had that big sale on. Excuse me. So I had placed an order, and it came. It's not a real big order because I haven't been ordering yarn, but I had projects for these. So let's see what's in the pack here. Okay, got my they don't have the price on, but I think I remember what I paid for these. I got 5 of the Mandala Elf. It's for a blanket that I'm working on. And I'll give you the stats on it. Most everybody knows, but I'll still give you the stats on it. 5.3 ounces, 150 grams, 590 yards, 100% acrylic, made in Turkey. This is the colorway Elf. So I got 5 of those, and those were $4.99. Okay, I'm going to 3-pack there. Then I got 5 of Shaw in the Ball Feng Shui. It's like a gray. Maybe this one will show up better. You can see a little bit. It's like a gray gradient. And the statistics on this were 58% cotton, 39% acrylic. Number 4. 5.3 ounces, 150 grams, 518 yards, or 473 meters. Size jig or 6mm crochet hook, or size 8 or 5mm knitting needles. And this is a really nice yarn. I've worked with, you know, the shawl and the ball before. This here is for my elf coat, or excuse me, priestess coat that I'm going to be using as my New Year's Eve cast on. So I got 5 of those. And the only other thing I got is, I'd never tried this before, and I'd seen some other podcasters with it, and it was the Summer Nights. The color's not going to be real good. See if we turn this a little bit. Is the color getting better? There we go. And this is a number 1. And it's got like a metallic in it. 7 ounces, 200 grams, 875 yards, 800 meters, 82% acrylic, and 18% polyester. 3.25mm knitting needles or 3.5mm crochet hook. These were, I think, $3.99. The sorry, the shawl and the ball was $4.99. These 13 ball and cake, skeins and cakes cost me with shipping $85 Canadian. The shipping was $30 Canadian, and 13 cakes, 5 cakes, and 8 skeins of yarn ran me another like I think it was 30, 35, and then there was $10 and change tax. Altogether, the average price, and that was all in Canadian, the average price of these per, if I broke it down by paying the shipping, the tax, and what I paid for the yarn, the average price was $6 a skein or cake, which is still a good savings, because shawl and the ball was usually $10. Mandala, we don't get the good prices you do down in the States, but that's all I got in my order. This, I'm thinking of a shawl with this, or putting it with another project. So I'm just going to put those in there. So that was the happy mail I got. So, you're thinking, now what's next? I do have finished object, and talk a little bit about a couple of the works in progress I got going on. Okay, now we're going to get on to works in progress, finished objects, and I do have one other just small acquisition that I found this at a little resale shop for a quarter, 25 cents, and it's called the Knitting Collection, and it's just some patterns, crochet, knitting, just a bunch of patterns in here. There's some knitting, there's some crochet, there's some household things. Even there's one here that shows you how to do some edgings and trims. If you want to put crochet some edging on stuff. So it's got some really neat patterns. I just found it interesting, and for a quarter, added to my pattern collection. Okay, works in progress. Or you want to see finished objects first. Let's show finished objects first. I've had a lot of questions about the secret pattern I was working on. I have posted it on Instagram and Facebook. And it's I have a project page on my Ravelry, which is Antionettetheonly. If you're more than welcome to go check it out. It gives all my yarn that I used, my hook size, and any changes or modifications I made to the pattern, and pattern notes. So, as I had said earlier in the video, this design was by Hannah of the Cozy Crochet Cottage. That's a mouthful. And this is her first cardigan pattern, and she had worked on this for months, and she's absolutely over the moon about this pattern. That it was finally finished, and the genius behind this pattern is she designed it pretty much for people to use up their advent calendars or mini collection, mini skeins. And she released it when she did because we're coming into advent calendar season. Now on mine, I had some, you could call them minis, but they were a goodie bag from Holskarn, which gives you 20-gram little tiny cakes of yarn in different gradient shades. I used a gradient shade of blue and gray because the other two yarns I used in the cardigan was Hirschner's Sundance Soulful Stripe sock yarn. It was a superwash merino wool 75-25 blend with nylon. And I also used Holskarn Coast in Royal, which is a 55% lamb's wool, 45% cotton blend. So this is the finished. I did size 5. Now I made it extra big because I like things extra big. I added 9.5 inches to the length. I added some extra rows of the trim. So I'm going to. I have a sweatshirt on, so it's not going to look exactly right with a sweatshirt on. But this, and she calls it a wearable blanket, and it really is cozy. This is what it looks like. See if we can turn this a little bit. That's what it looks like. This goes clear down to my knees. I'm 5'7", so it's pretty long. And it is, I know my head's not in camera, but here I am. I'm just taking this off. Oh. I can't show you the pattern. It's a paid for pattern, but I'll give you the details about that in a second. This pattern has a unique construction as it is done in 2 identical panels that you seam up the back and then you seam the sides the way she made it. So it was like a wearable blanket. And she gives you all kind of options in the pattern to shorten, lengthen, narrow schematics. It's a very well written pattern, 18 pages long. She gives you a row counter chart so you can keep track of your rows. It's pretty much predominantly the granny stitch. But I just love it. It's a great pattern. This is what mine looks like up close. You can see I used the sock yarn was a gray gradient, and the royal this here is the Holskarn Coast in Royal. And what I did was I alternated 3 rows of the gray, 3 rows of the black, 3 rows of the gray, 3 rows of the black. But then I incorporated so it would come up into the front here on the front panel right here, and again so it matched in the back. I'm going to find my center seam back here. My center seam's there somewhere. It's hard to see the center seam. The center seam's right here. So the 2 sides matched, so you can see they matched. And I used light, medium, dark blue, and then light, medium, dark gray. And then I had a charcoal, a black, that I used on 1 row of trim. And then I did the trim on the arms and on the front in the charcoal. So that is the granny stripe cardigan. You need to go over to Ravelry or Payhip and get your copy of the pattern. Now, on Ravelry, Hannah has generously set up, they have that where you can pay what you can for either $5.50 or $6.50. And if you can't access Ravelry, if you email Hannah, she will work with you on it. Now on Payhip, she hasn't quite figured out the coupon codes. The pattern is $7.50. And just for your information, the sales from this pattern are to go and purchase something that baby Nova needs. And if you haven't subscribed to Hannah or you don't follow Hannah, Hannah had a little baby last year, and Nova is absolutely adorable, and it was a very much awaited baby. So go over and support Hannah. It's a great pattern. Hannah's got some other patterns on there that are great too. And her patterns are all very beginner friendly. She has knitting and crocheting. So, that's my finished object. Works in progress. Works in progress. I have a pair of socks. But what it is with these pair of socks is I am using and practicing with my Addy Crazy Trio Flexi Flips. It's kind of combining a 9-inch circular, magic loop, and DPNs. Now these are toe up. This pattern is a paid for pattern from Stacy of Very Pink Knits that she wrote specifically for these needles. So and I'm getting better at working with them. I just finished picking up a dozen stitches that I had accidentally dropped. I got so disgusted I just popped them onto the third needle and I just finished picking them all up. The yarn I'm using is zigzag yarn. Let's see if we can get that in there to show. It's zigzag. And the ball comes 100 grams, 460 yards, which I split into 2 cakes of 230 yards each. So I can do 1 sock from each cake. So you know your patterning comes out fairly close. So you have 2 like socks. This is 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. It's made in Turkey under the license of King Cole, Skipton, UK. This is the yarn from the UK. This was sent to me in some Happy Mail last year or the year before. And I am using my 3.25 millimeter Crazy Trio. These are how they come. It's going to focus. There we go. Focuses. So, and there's lots of tutorials on the YouTube about these needles. And so far, so good. I mean, I'm getting the hang of them. I still like my 9-inch circs, and I still like using DPNs. It's just an alternative, you know. Now, what else did I have? Okay. I think I told you last time I was doing the, can't show you, this is also a paid for pattern by Chantal of Knititude. It is called the Wrapped Up in Cables Sweater Scarf. It has multiple ways you can wear it. It's sort of like a combination of a shawl, a scarf, a sweater, what do you call those, bolero jacket. I'm doing it in Premier's Sweet Roll. If we can get that there. And this is the colorway. It's like a robin's egg blue, lavender, and cream. It's 100% acrylic. The colorway is called Gelato Pop. And it's a very soft yarn. It's a number 4. And it's 245 yards, 5 ounces, 140 grams in the cake. And I've had these in my stash for a while, a couple years. Let's see, US 9 or 5.5 millimeter knitting needles, 5.5 millimeter or US I crochet hook. And how the patterns work is pretty simple. You start my cuff. You got like 14 inches of cuff, which will be seamed this way. And then you have a 24 row repeat that you do, in my size, a total of 13 times. Cables, and in the center there's like a leaf pattern. As you can see, I've got everything all tangled up here. Yarn, needles, because it was in my project bag, so I had it in my car. I was working on it for a ferry ride. Okay, I think I just about got it untangled. Everything's untangled. I do have my needle stoppers on the end because I don't need to drop any more stitches. And that is how it is working up. Once it's blocked, I'll block it out. Because once you block it out, all this is going to open up. If you look, you can see the leaf in the middle. And then you can see the cables that go along the end. And there's another cable here. And then a semi-cable going up the center, which actually looks like a leaf pattern. It's not too difficult of a pattern. You just have to pay attention to when you're doing your repeats so you don't mess your cables up. The yarn, lovely. It's got some spring to it, which is going to be nice because of the way the sweater scarf is worn. I will keep you updated on this. I think I'm done. See how many repeats I have left. Old school. I wrote all my repeats on here. I still have 2, 4, 6, 8. I got 8 more repeats, so I still have a ways to go on that. So I have that going on. Now, I restarted my airbender pattern by Lindsay Luchuk of Knit Eco Chic. And all of this information is going to be in the description box below. This is not a beginner pattern. This is an advanced pattern. I'm working with Hobie's Dahlia yarn, and the colorway is Purple Gemstone. And I tested this pattern back in 2019 for her, but I did not do the beading or the drop stitches because it was, I wasn't quite sure of it. But I don't have a lot done. I'm also working with 3.25 needles. They're my Chiagus, and I love them. I got my needle protectors on so I don't lose my stitches. But I'm doing the beads. I haven't got to the drop stitches yet. That's going to be another adventure. But this is what, let me get this down here. And if you look on the edge here, I don't know how good you're going to be able to see it. You can see the beads. Now there's also beading placed within the shawl itself because the airbender has, with dropping your stitches and stuff, it brings out the pattern, which is butterflies, dragonflies, and some wind chimes. So, I mean, this is very slow going. It's got cables, very small cables in it, and it's going to be next year. I said I'm just taking my time. This is only something I can work on when I'm sitting in the quiet of my craft room and I can pay attention. I'm trying to follow charts. I'm getting better following charts, but still, Lindsay's charts are a little bit written a little differently than other designers. But I've talked with her and figured out the charts. What I did, as she suggests in the pattern itself, is you go in. I don't even know where they're at in here. Oh, here we go. They're right here. I went in because they print up on 2 sheets. I put the pattern in here. I can't show you too much just because it's a paid for pattern. But like this. So this is the center. This is the left side, the right side of the center stitch pattern. This is the left side. Like I said, it's not for the beginner. It is a big, huge challenge for me. This definitely falls outside my comfort zone, hashtag, when I finish it. But I'm enjoying it, and I have two sets of beads. Right now I'm working with the purple and the pinks, but I also have some multicolored black beads that I may use within the pattern itself, like when I get into the darker colors, because I want the beads to be subtle. I don't want them to overpower the pattern. But all this information will be in the description box below, and you can go check out Lindsay's patterns. Lindsay does have, in fact, she sent me an email with some suggestions for beginner-friendly of her patterns. Now, her patterns are paid-for patterns, and I do not mind spending money on patterns if it's something I really want to do, and the designer is a designer that, you know, this is how she makes her living. I mean, Lindsay's been featured in magazines and all kinds of things. So go over and check her out. So other than the other normal WIPs I have on the needles, this is what I have done on my cow blanket so far. I'm getting ready to do this week's stitch. I got to get it done. This is my pick and mix cow blanket that I'm doing. It's just a little, I'm just doing a little blanket. It's probably, it's almost not quite the width of my arms, but last week it was the bobble stitch, the week before was bobble stitch. Then we had, I don't remember what that stitch was. We've had, oh, the linen stitch, and we had the, I think it's textured wave stitch, and of course the evil right here waistcoat stitch. And then I'm just doing double crochet rows in between, 2 rows of double crochet. This yarn I'm using for this is all Craft Smart, and since they redid the Craft Smart to be made in Turkey, it's a lot softer. This week's stitch is the loopy stitch. I have watched a tutorial on it, and I just have to get busy doing the stitch, or doing that section of the blanket for this week. I still have the Charlotte's Universe going. My Alaska hat I started working on as we're getting into the cold weather now, working on my color work. I can say after the first of the year I am going to be testing a pattern for Lindsay. So I have been learning brioche, 2-color brioche. And I can say it doesn't seem to be too difficult. It's just a rhythmic type of knitting. Because there's actually a brioche stitch you can do in 1 color. But this particular test I'm going to be doing for her is part of a series, part of her themed pattern series for the year. So it's going to be coming up sometime after the beginning of the new year. I'm still working on, the Mezzo-Cardi's been putting time out for a while. Okay, I'm not quite sure if I showed you this. I talked about this, I think, once before. This is a pattern put out by Claire from Eclair Makery. This pattern's inspiration came to her during the beginning of, you know, the C word. And she called it her adventure. Let me see if I can find the picture here. The Adventure Tee. It is color work. And I mean, it's a thick pattern. She got it charted and she also has it written. That's what the pattern looks like. It's like a world map. Up the top's a compass. And then there's some down the bottom. You can't see this one here. Oh, there it is. You can see it in this picture here. There's waves from the water. That's the world map. And there, if you look at this bottom picture, looks like waves. So I started doing this, and it's another one where, you know, stitch count's important. You got to pay attention. But I did start it. I've got the bottom part. I'm doing the front panel first. This is what I have done so far. I had ripped it out probably 3 or 4 times before I finally figured it out and got it right. Got my waves done. I've got my ribbing done. Did my ribbing, just a front post, back post ribbing. And then the rest of it's all single crochet. You know. Takes a while. So I finished this section and I started into my chart section. So now I'll be getting into the second. And there's a lot of colors in this. I've got, I mean, if you look at my project bag, there's a lot of different yarn in here, different colors. But this is the color that I'll be using for the map portion, signifying landmass. So that's where I'm at on that. I'll just stick this under here. So that's pretty much all I have going on for now. I will be leaving Sunday for Prince Edward Island for my class, and I don't know if I'll be able to video while I'm up there. I am going to video going across the Federation Bridge, and I'll have some footage of that for you. I'm going to try to visit a local yarn shop if I have time after class, and they're open. But other than that, it's just been busy. I co-taught this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It was a last minute thing that I got a notification of. I'm going to do another co-teach. Now this is all my time, to prepare me for my final solo teach. So I'm fully licensed. But I would feel more comfortable doing a second co-teach class. Let's just say it had its bumps and hiccups. She says I know my material. I just have to get everything from my head to my mouth to get it to flow. But my students did well on the test. They didn't miss any of the sections I taught them. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. And I'm going to get this so I can get it uploading too. I've got one video uploading now. That was just a car chat, berry chat over the weekend. I hope everybody has a good week. Don't forget Remembrance Day, to remember our fallen who have given us the freedoms that we have by paying the ultimate sacrifice. And also to honor those that are still here, still serving, retired. My husband is a retired vet. My father, my whole family, military, and my grandson just went into the U.S. Army. So that's all for now. So remember, hugs, smiles, and happiness. Pass it on. Make the world a better place. Sunshine is to flowers, like smiles are to humanity. So pass them on and make the good feelings grow. Bye for now from Deer Island. I'll see you soon.